Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming here today to our candidates forum for the November 3rd general election. I am Vanessa Dean, and I am the Vice Chair of the Leadership New Braunfels Alumni Planning Committee. I would like to welcome you here today and thank you for taking time out of your schedule to attend. The Leadership of New Braunfels Alumni Association is committed to encouraging community involvement and to providing its members with opportunities for networking, personal growth, and professional development. The association has more than 700 members who have graduated from the Leadership New Braunfels program. We sponsor Youth Leadership New Braunfels, host an annual fundraiser, and hold candidates forums so members can get to know the local candidates and the issues they will be voting on. This year's candidates forum was sponsored by Rava Kistner Consultants. Ian Perez is their area project manager, board member of the Greater New Braunfels Chamber of Commerce and Leadership New Braunfels graduate class of 2013. Thank you, Ian and Rava Kistner, for making this event possible. Now, on to our forum. Today's event is not a debate. We have 4 candidates from the Comal County general election in attendance. You have probably seen their hard work as you drive around town or maybe meet them at the many events that they have attended over the past few months. Candidates, thank you very much for being here with us today. Each candidate will have 6 minutes to tell you about themselves and educate you on their position. The order of the candidates is listed on the screen at this time and in the chat box. Also, this event is being recorded. Without further ado, we will begin the program with Commissioner Donna Eccleston.
Good morning for now. Good afternoon, probably by the time we're done. I just want to thank everybody for the opportunity to be with you today on behalf of myself and everybody who has the opportunity to participate. We're very grateful. My name is Donna Eccleston. I am the Commissioner for Precinct 1 right now, and I am running for re-election. I feel that we have the best county and the best state and the best country in the world, and I get teased about saying that all the time. But we wouldn't be living here if we didn't think that that was indeed the case. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to serve because I believe local government is incredibly important. It's neighbors serving neighbors. We see each other all the time. We know the issues that we're living with in each area, of the county. It is no fun going first. I just want y'all to know that part. So that being said, we have a lot of things going on in the county. All of us have observed the growth, which is significant. And it's sort of shaping and molding how we go forward. So we've embarked on a very precise strategic plan for facilities and services because we are required to provide services, and we think that's a very important thing, obviously. A lot of people don't realize that not only do we do roads, we do indigent health care, we do courts, all of those things that maybe touch your life peripherally, but you don't even realize it's going on. Perhaps you live in a city, and so that's your first layer. I think that we have done an exceptional job in Comal County with the tools that we have, which a lot of people are going to talk about being quite limited because we're limited to statutory authority. If something's not in statute, counties can't do it. That's the simplest way to say it. But I think that we do a good job with the tools we have on behalf of everybody. I think one of the very important reasons that I'm running again is that we have work to continue. Me personally, mental health has been a passion throughout this time. I serve on the local mental health authority. And I got to give everybody a shout out. We formed a stakeholders committee, 11 years ago or so. And we've been working hard. McKenna's come on board and aided us with grants and focus, all of that. But we have a lot of projects that I just want to pull across the finish line to help our continuity of care, our system of care here. And if that all, not only do they make sense and you're treating people where you need to treat them, it's also more efficient, which appeals to me because I'm incredibly solution-based, as well as being cost-effective. Because at no time do I ever forget that it's from the taxpayers, all the resources we have. And being a taxpayer too, you're very, very sensitive to making sure that you do the very best with the resources that have been gifted to you. So that's me personally. But as a county, we have a lot going on. We just opened the new jail, another constitutional obligation that whether you're in the city or the county, that's where anybody arrested in the county goes to. And the county's responsible for maintaining that, as well as the courts and other things. So we have a lot of things going on. As I said a few moments ago, we have just opened a new courts building that we've added new courtrooms to. The legislature gifted us with 2 new courts that we really, really desperately needed, because when you have a surge in population, you have a surge in that percentage of the population that are not really interested in following the law, and putting other citizens at jeopardy is not a good thing. And so we have the district court and the county court at law coming on. They have to have some place to conduct court. And we finished that building, and now we're on to the annex building, adding 2 new courtrooms. And throughout all of this time, we've been adding remote and satellite opportunities as far as offices are concerned for people to access county services. We've been going more techie. Bottom line for me, and 6 minutes is a long time, so please forgive me. Bottom line for me is the fact that I believe that service is central to all of us. I think that you wouldn't be interested in Leadership New Braunfels if you weren't looking for a way to serve your organization, your business, and your community, because it is a huge commitment in every respect. I love where I live. I think it's one of the greatest places ever, obviously. And I think that local government is a huge part of that. Listening to people, being among people, and living under the same circumstances that everybody else is experiencing. So those are the reasons that I want to continue working on your behalf, being useful and purposeful. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for this opportunity to speak to you. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Eccleston. And so next we are going to be hearing from Lindsay Poisel. Lindsay, it's your turn.
Thank you, and thank you guys for hosting this. I really appreciate it. And well, we've almost made it. It's towards the end of the 2020 election cycle, so yay to that. I know we're all happy to be reaching the end of this, hopefully 2020, and just heading towards November 3rd. So, well, there's a lot to say, so I'll try and make it all fit into the time. So my name is Lindsay Poisel. I am running for County Commissioner Precinct 1, which is pretty awesome. Precinct 1 has a lot of things to offer. We've got the downtown New Braunfels area. We have River Road, so we can access the awesome rivers, and we have the lake. So there's a lot of growth going on out here, and a lot of issues need to be addressed when it comes to growth. A main thing is roads and infrastructure. And how do we make sure that we are growing in a smart way and the best way possible for our community? One of those issues that I've seen happens to be with the contractors that are currently being used, and the fact that there's been long wait times when it does come to road work. There seems to be a lack of communication. And one of the reasons I was asked to run is because of communication, where a lot of the people that I've talked to feel like they don't have anybody on their side. And so if I am elected, I do want to bridge that gap, and I want to make sure everybody in the community is heard and everybody has a voice and knows that they can turn to somebody. I do realize that there's not, we can't do everything as commissioners, but we can at least point them in the right direction. We can give them different alternatives, different resources to use. And so that's where I really want to focus, making sure that everybody feels like they have a voice. The nice thing about Precinct 1 being so big and having so many different areas, whether it's downtown or the lake, is that every neighborhood is unique. And every neighborhood will have their own issues, especially the newer neighborhoods going in, whether it comes to septic tanks, the codes for septic tanks and how often they need to be looked at, and versus the older district or older neighborhoods where you have some new flooding coming in because of the paved roads that maybe slope differently than they were in the past. These are all issues that need to be addressed, and I hope to do so if I am elected. Another thing that was brought to my attention was the need for a juvenile detention center in the county, which, I mean, on the surface sounds good, but what I would like to do is put some more youth programs in place to where maybe we don't have to worry about the juvenile detention centers as much, but possibly have some better activity for the youth out here. And those are just some of the issues that I want to address. The other one, as we grow, pollution is going to be a big issue. We need to make sure that we work with folks like Preserve the Hill Country to make sure that our air and water stay clean. Those are going to be very important. This is a huge tourist town, and without clean air and clean water, we will lose that. So making sure we have that going forward is essential for our way of life and the growth of our community. And, you know, that's pretty much the main talking points that I have for today. You know, I think that I can do this job. I've been pretty much training for it my whole life. In a sense, my background includes being an executive recruiter where I am working daily negotiating contracts with both candidates and clients, which will be very useful when dealing with county funds. I have worked with environmental consulting firms where I need to ensure the proper environmental impact reports get to the state and make sure that everything's formatted properly. I've worked in a mortgage and real estate company where my main job was searching for fraud. Obviously very important. Nobody wants to be defrauded. And so I think it's important to have a leader that will stand up and point out any discrepancies and make sure that the county is doing everything that they need to do and spending the tax dollars, your tax dollars, the way that they need to be spent. So I am asking for your vote. I know early voting is already underway and we've had record turnout. So thank you for everybody who's already turned out, and thank you for everybody who will continue to opt into early voting. And I do ask for your vote this November and throughout the early voting season. So thank you.
In voting, and that is kind of why we have this going on. So I once again just thank you all for being here. And so next I'm going to introduce Miss Colette Nies.
Hi y'all, this is Colette. Hold on, I have a box that just came up, so I'm trying to get rid of it. Okay. Hi, I'm Colette Nies. I am running for County Commissioner for Precinct 3. I felt called to run. As many of you know, I'm a social worker. I'm also a theologian. I also have an energy business. And I have a pretty diverse background in that, you know, I've traveled a lot. I've been somewhat of an academic. I was not born here, but as they say, you get to Texas as fast as I could. And while I lived in New Braunfels in the 90s, I left to go to college, and I'm actually still in college. It's a perpetual thing. However, I came back in 2014, and, you know, there's two types. I'm going to give you a little rundown. There's two types of social workers. You have ones that do direct practice that work specifically with an unhoused population or mental health or veterans, and they work directly with clients or patients. And then you have what kind of social worker I am. This is what you call community administrative leadership, which is I go in and solve the policy problem that causes homelessness or that causes the unhoused population or that causes the food security problem instead of directly working one-on-one. So basically, I look at systems theory in governance, policy, evaluation, and then I solve it. And I have taught at leadership conferences all over on developing leadership strategies, specifically for long-range planning and succession for goal-oriented. How you define and follow and lead to accomplish a goal in 2 years is different than something you do for 25 years. It's much different. We have a lot of plans, it seems, in this town or in this county for some things that are 15 years old and nothing's been done. Well, as you know, as everyone knows, it's the fastest growing county, right? Second fastest. Well, you know, the reality is we aren't all living the same reality. We have 1 out of 7 children with an asthma issue here. That's twice the national average. We have 1 in 5 children under the age of 18 that go hungry at night. 20%. That is astronomical for a county that is supposed to be so well off, let's just say. So there's a lot of people. We have a rising unhoused population. We have an environmental genocide that's going right now with our air quality and as well with the Edwards Aquifer Recharge Zone. Now, yes, I think that those in office have built some buildings and have done some exceptional things in some areas, but there also have been millions and millions of dollars mismanaged with the jail project and with the lack of renovation of the sheriff's office that took 5 years. That's not fiscal responsibility. You know, we have to get to a point in society where we don't sacrifice ecology and land and water quality to say that we're going to save money to keep taxes low. You don't have to do one or the other. You can do both at the same time. When you start investing in land, when you start investing in air quality and water quality, in ensuring that you're going to have a drinking water situation in 25 years from now, when the population of New Braunfels proper is going to be 250,000 people, you save money. When you have regenerative agriculture and put in native grasses and stop the clear cutting that's going on in this overdevelopment in the urban sprawl, and when you have the urban sprawl, but yet you look at the places where we need housing, where we need affordable housing, when you have people that are struggling to put food on the table because they can't feed their kids. And maybe there's some of us in this room or in this Zoom room that don't experience that. But there's a lot of people who do. There's a lot of people that go to schools that have mold, or like the windows are broken on the outside, and yet then you have another one on the other side of town that's 25 million. I mean, there's a disparity. There's an inequity in this town. You know, there's a lot of good things. We all wouldn't live here or continue to live here if we didn't love it. We love the beauty of the hill country. We love the depth of history, from the Lipan Apache, from the Waco to the Takanka, to the First Nation, to the Mexican, to the Hispanic, to the African American, to the Asian American, to the Anglo-Saxon, to the Spanish, to the German, to the indigenous, to the Puerto Ricans that live here. But not everybody's equally represented, and especially in Precinct 3. There are so many people I talk to about zoning issues they've had that they feel that they're not being voiced, or their businesses weren't upheld because they politically believe differently, or they were targeted. They feel that they were targeted because they come from a different line or from a different family. That's not okay. The reality is there's a rising anger in me right now when I'm talking because of all the situations that I see that's going on. But there's also a climate, not only in America right now, but it is right here, where people are dragging Black Lives Matter flags, and people are I mean, I've been attacked brutally over the last week for things that are completely preposterous. So we really have to have this deep dive into not only anti-bullying, to the teen suicide rate that exists here that's gone up 179% since social media.
We have
to look at, excuse me?
We are out of time.
Okay, well, let me wrap it up. I could go on. I would love to talk to y'all more, and thanks. I really think we just need a huge shift right now in leadership.
Please, we appreciate your passion. And that does leave our Commissioner, Kevin Webb.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kevin Webb. I was born and raised in Comal County. I graduated from New Braunfels High School in Texas A&M. I'm a proud Leadership New Braunfels class of 2008, back when Rita ran things with an iron fist and a bullwhip, and we had to walk the class uphill both ways in the snow and all that. So I live here in town with my wife, Brandy. She has a couple of fitness studios, one here and one in Alamo Heights. And we've got 4 kids. Parker's 21. He's at A&M. Rain's 17 at New Braunfels High School. Maya's at the 9th grade center. And Cord is keeping us all in line. He's in kinder at the Christian Academy. I have an insurance and securities practice here, sort of specializing in retirement accounts, but I haven't done much of that since I've been working full time since I got elected in 2013. Comal County is pure America with challenges and opportunities. You know, we've talked a lot about growth here and the challenges that are there. And, you know, along with that comes tremendous opportunities. And so that's why a lot of people live here. Through that growth and planning for that and working to address it, we've invested heavily in public safety and law enforcement through our people there. And then also through our infrastructure at the jail we've talked about. And in our courtrooms, our prosecutor space, and then clerk space, you know, everything that goes on, land records and criminal records and all these things that are going on, they have to be housed somewhere. And so we've worked really hard and invested in those. The new sheriff's office starts in January of 2021, and that'll be another big investment in public safety. I was reminded earlier that just a few years ago, we took a big step and bought the elections office and have that working today. And boy, I look back on that and how we struggled to come up with the money for that and the planning that went into that. And I think, good grief, what would have happened if we wouldn't have done that? And thank goodness that the folks I work with and that came before me were actually working on that. And then folks like Donna and my colleagues on the court have got that done. We're working on our, you know, part of the growth is transportation infrastructure, and that's, you know, from Loop 337 and FM 306 here in New Braunfels all the way out west. Comal County is sort of spread out east to west, and so we got projects going on. We'll start promoting. There's another tip coming up at the MPO, and the intersections on 46, like Cranes Mill Road, FM 3009, FM 311. We're working on promoting those projects. Also the horseshoe out at 306, we have some safety issues there that we really need to address. And so, and then at the larger level, at the TxDOT Commission level, we'll be promoting I-35 and 46 over here. Everybody knows that that's our biggest challenge when it comes to traffic congestion, but it's also it's a enormously complex and an expensive project. We got right-of-way issues over there, but we've been working on it for the last couple of years. Actually, I was awarded a TxDOT Road Hand Award for work that we've been doing and bringing together the city of New Braunfels, Comal County, Guadalupe County, and Seguin to study that corridor. And TxDOT has an ongoing study that should be finished in summer of 2021, and that'll provide some alternatives. You know, we've got several different projects going on there, from direct connectors, not projects going on, but plans from direct connectors off of 46 on a 35 and 10 at the other end, a possible new river crossing out by Clear Springs, and a bunch of other things, just trying to throw everything we can at that intersection to get it worked out. You know, hopefully, if I win this election, I'll be named chair of the MPO, and hopefully along the way there, we'll be able to have discussions with the TxDOT Commission and actually get funding for that project. That's one of my big goals. It's been the honor of my life to, besides being a husband and a father, to serve this community. It's my hometown. Like I said, I was born here. And, you know, even if I can just say, you know, play a small role in helping this become and stay the great place that it is, it means the world to me. And the way this community, you know, I've got so much pride in this community, the way that we've come together to keep each other afloat through this COVID mess. And the way that things are coming back now, it just, you know, in the chamber, you know, in this Leadership New Braunfels class, you know, just finding ways, you know, we're always going to find a way to keep working and working together. And that's the most important thing. And we can overcome everything if we do it together. And in this campaign, the outpouring of support from you, folks that are involved with the chamber and leadership, and so many others is very humbling. And I'm going to keep working hard to deserve it. And our future is bright, and I'm enormously proud of Comal County and the team that we have, from the elected officials and the public, department heads and employees and the folks I work with. They're public servants, and serving alongside them is an enormous source of pride for me, because they're doing the right things for the right reasons. And I'd appreciate your vote, and I want to keep working. And that's all the time I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Webb. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our program. I hope that you found this informative and helpful as you head to the polls. As a reminder, the polls are open for early voting. Polling locations, dates, and times can be found in the chat box or on our Leadership Alumni website. Thank you again for attending, and make sure to vote and have your voice be heard.
Thank you all so much. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks, Linda.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Colette, you asked if it'll be able to be viewed afterwards. Yes, ma'am. In fact, I'm going to cut out your portion as well and forward it over to you a link so that you can use that for anything that you would like to.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.